Hi and welcome to the Watchman Reports, where we provide a biblical perspective on, in this case, the Middle East conflict. This is an extended version of a previous report we gave a couple of weeks ago. So here on the Watchman Report, we try to bring perspective to current news from a biblical standard. Whether it's prophecy or moral and social issues, we highlight Bible teaching relating to those stories breaking on the world stage. In this issue, we examine, is there a solution to the crisis in the Middle East region? In this video, we're going to look at what the Bible has to say regarding the current conflict in the Middle East. As followers of the Lord Jesus Christ, we express no political opinion. Rather, we are looking at what the Bible has to say, because the Bible has a solution to the conflict that is now raging in the area. The media reports for some time now have shown destruction taking place across the Middle East. Conflict between Israel and Iran. The news media have described it in a number of different ways, which reflects the severity as they see it. A new Middle East war. This is just the beginning, warns Israel. Even Britain being reported to be on a war footing, and Iran threatening to attack UK and US bases. Iran itself is under fire, and the whole conflict has the capacity of widening amongst world nations. So what is the solution to the conflict? Well, when we look at the history of the nations of the world and their ability to solve conflicts, it doesn't really give us much confidence that it will be done by the means that have been employed in the past. We have, on the one hand, the stated objective of Iran, which was stated some years ago by the present supreme leader, which is to annihilate Israel. And we have Israel seeking to preserve its own identity as a nation. In the past, we can look at other Middle East conflicts that have taken place going back into the 1970s and the 1980s. Conflicts where as far as those conflicts were concerned, we see that many of those conflicts, they are still going on in some shape or form, or contributing to the present conflict at least. How will man resolve the conflict? Well, there is a statue that was presented to the United Nations in 1959 by the USSR at the time. It depicts a man with a hammer and a ploughshare in his hand, and on the bottom of the statue there is an inscription. It says, "Let us beat our swords into ploughshares." And this reflects the stated objective of the United Nations as being able to resolve conflict by discussion and agreement between nations. But as we've seen, discussion doesn't usually bring lasting results, and the current Middle East conflict has raised some form or another since the State of Israel was founded in 1948. Despite the best endeavours of the governments of the world to produce a solution, it's failed. Let's look at the broader context of the war in the Middle East and see how the wars of the world are raging and have raged for the last few years. There are many wars going on all over the Middle East. Man has not been able to produce an end to the conflict, and war still rages and has raged and will probably rage for some time to come, particularly in the Middle East area, the Levant. Let's look again at the statue that was presented to the UN. The plinth's words are a quotation from the Bible. The prophet Isaiah is the source of that quotation, and it talks about the Middle East. The prophecy relates to what the prophet saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it saw a time when there would be peace in that area. But note carefully the change that has taken place from the original quotation that was written in the book of Isaiah. In the book of Isaiah it says, "He shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks." It's not we, but they. And the quotation shows the reason why this will take place. Because of the intervention of God in world affairs. And that intervention, as can be seen by verse 3, is that God will be setting up his kingdom upon the earth, and there will be a complete change. In fact, the mountains of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem, will be the source of God's teaching to the nations about peace. This is God's solution to world warfare. This is what will happen in order to produce peace. Let's look again at the words of Isaiah. As we've already said, it's centered in Judah and Jerusalem, the very center of one of the parties to the present conflict. This is the last days of the current order of the government in the earth, and it's centered around the worship of God, when nations will come up to worship in Jerusalem, and Jerusalem will be the center of the world and center of world worship. This will result in true peace being achieved in the Middle East, and indeed, as we shall see in a moment, true peace that will be achieved throughout the whole earth. So how can this happen when man has failed so abysmally? God can succeed where men have failed. And that same prophet, Isaiah, goes on later in his prophecy to give us a picture of the solution with more details as to how it will happen. He prophesies that there will come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse. Now, Jesse was the father of David, King David, a king of Israel. So it will be that there will be a son of David who will reign from Jerusalem. And he will reign, as the second verse says, by God's principles. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. It's totally different to the rationale behind the rulers of the earth at this present time. And with righteousness he will judge the poor. There will be perfect justice for all. And he predicts a time when the peace on earth will not just be between nations, but it will be so complete that it will relate also to the animal kingdom. We read, the wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together. A little child shall lead them. And what does he say? They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. It is totally different. It's total peace. And it's based upon God and God's intervention in world affairs by the return of his Son, who is also the Son of David, the Lord Jesus Christ. The Bible shows that the solution to the conflict that is ongoing at the present time. But what about the nations of the earth? What are the people thinking about this conflict? When we look at our media reports, we see that there are forecasts that this conflict could get even worse, and whether it does or it doesn't at this present time, it shows the fear that men have of it worsening. It's reported that the full might of the US is ready for entry into this conflict. It talks about the broadening war between these nations. It describes it as a world crisis. It suggests that Britain itself might be drawn into it. And it shows how the oil price is increasing. And it is possible, according to one set of experts, that it could double its price. And it even reports that other nations far removed from Israel and this present conflict might get embroiled. A huge World War III apocalyptic threat. And these are news reports that are in the news today. And yet the Bible has prophesied that this will happen. It talks of a time when the sea and the waves roar. Now that's a Bible way of describing the nations of the earth. And what it says is, when that's happening, men's hearts would fail them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming upon the earth. It prophesies accurately the response of the current difficulties that the world is facing. But as we've seen already, it prophesies with equal accuracy that the Lord Jesus Christ will return to bring about a permanent solution of world peace. But before that happens, another Old Testament prophet, the prophet Joel, speaks of a time when plowshares will be beaten into swords. Remember Isaiah's prophecy, swords into plowshares? Joel's talking about it being the other way round. But this is a temporary state that takes place before the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled. That there will be a time when resources that would be otherwise used in agriculture would be devoted to war. And we see in the nations of the world at the moment increased defence spending by many Western nations. What Joel prophesied is also coming to pass before our eyes. A complete reversal, which is happening today, will take place as Isaiah has told us. And that peace is a peace that will cover the whole earth. It predicts a world of peace. Psalm 72 talks about an abundance of peace so long as the moon endureth. A peace that man cannot achieve. And the fulfillment of Bible prophecy will provide evidence that that will happen. Now, this might seem attractive, to live in a world where there is no war, where there will be the sort of peace which the Bible talks about, rather than man has been able to achieve. And the question is, would you like to be part of that world? Well, the Bible tells us how that can happen. And if you'd like to know more about world peace, and perhaps you'd like to know how you could be part of that world that will have peace and have it eternally, we hope that this video has provided some clarity to the situation that is causing so much concern amongst the nations. We would encourage you to subscribe to our Watchman Reports playlist and other videos as they appear on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and drop us a comment in the comments area below to have your say. We love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you follow our playlist and never miss a new report. So until next time, God willing, this has been the Watchman Report. Thank you for watching, and click here for more reports. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Drop a comment in the comment section and let us know what you thought. And make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Please share it and spread the word. Thanks for watching, and remember to come back soon.